Well, hello everybody.
And welcome.
Here we are. So, today I just want to talk about the sort of stuff that when you're living in bricks and sticks, you sort of take for granted. There are a few things like that, aren't there? Like getting post.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
When you're on the road,
you never get any. No post. No post, no parcels, no Amazon, nothing. You don't get anything. No.
Because, of course, people need to know where you are to be able to send you a letter.
You don't get any birthday cards.
No, you don't. Not on your birthday. No. So, we do have an address, of course, because that's all part of living in a civilised society, as we do.
Well, you have.
But we're not there.
No, we have an address so we can be registered with the doctors, but some people just have a PO box or something for their post.
Well, there is.
Yeah.
I mean, for the post in particular, there's a service called Boat Mail, and it's called boatmail.co.uk, and I think you need to go and look this up, but I think it costs like 150 quid a year, so £12.50 a month thereabouts. And what they do, that gives you a physical address, a street address, and I think it's in Gloucester. And what they do is they will accept all your post, and they'll filter out the junk mail, like any circulars and stuff. They'll throw that away, and they'll open the other stuff, scan it, and email it to you.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Well, it's a pretty good service.
Yeah.
So you can get it's not physical copies, but it's an emailed copy, so you can read it and respond to it if you need to, which I think is a pretty good service. And it's that sort of thing that you sort of take for granted all the time. Another thing is having constant hot water. Most houses that certainly we've lived in for the last 20 years have had a condensing boiler.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're called.
Yes. Yeah.
That when you turn it on, when you turn the hot tap on, the boiler fires up, heats the water, that heats enough water to push down the pipe to the hot tap. So you've actually got constant hot water. You can leave that tap running for hot water forever. And that's not the case in the motorhome and when you're on the road. So, you're always limited with water. So we always now try to be more economical. I only wash once every 6 months now.
Yeah. No,
that's not true. But we do have when I have a shower, I put the hot water has to be turned on, like the old days of immersion heaters, and it is pretty much like an immersion heater.
It is. You have to put it on.
You turn it on, the gas boiler fires up, heats a pot of water that's somewhere near the boiler, and then what I do is I get in the shower, turn it on, get the temperature set, and then douse myself over in water. Then I turn it off, because once you're wet, that's enough, right? So then I use the shampoo and the body wash and whatever. And I think what I'm using at the moment is a shampoo and body wash.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a men's one from Lidl, I think.
It's the CN, CIEN.
I think that's
brand.
Lidl or Aldi.
Or Aldi,
yeah,
one of those.
Yeah.
Quite nice. Yeah. So then, when I've got all sort of soaked up and washed, I then turn the water on again to rinse off. So, you know, once I've rinsed off, you know, I have a little check around, see if I've got all the dirt off, and if I haven't, I go through the soak process and rinse off again. So, you know, sometimes you might miss a bit, or you might feel not quite so clean as you want to, and you just have another go. Whereas in a house with a shower with constant hot water, you turn the shower on, full blast, you stand under it and think, oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
But I never waste it. If there's any left after we've had showers, I put it to do a bit of washing, or I'll use it for the washing up water.
We do.
And another tip, I must say,
so that's the hot water,
Yeah.
If there's any hot water left over,
we turn it off straight away.
There normally
a
is.
little bit,
Yeah.
You can wash up with it, or you can wash a few clothes in there.
So we're quite economical in that way, aren't we? So,
yes.
So,
but I want to say this, that Celia and Robin, who are on the rally with us, what they do is they put out in the full sun every day a plastic container of water, and of course it warms during the day, so they don't even put their they don't use their gas boiler. They use that water when they come back for washing and for washing up.
Oh, I didn't know.
They're very, very green. I think it's wonderful. Yeah. So you
that
leave
sort
that
of
south facing a whole plastic canister of water.
So that's solar water heating.
Solar
really.
water heating, yeah. And I think we should do that. That's brilliant. Save the gas even more.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I
we
think
could use
it is.
that hot water. Sometimes, if the plates and cups are not that dirty, I wash up in cold water
so
with
do
a
I.
bit of soap. You know, we use a bit of dishwashing, not dishwashing, the washing up liquid, I think it's called. That's it. And I use that in cold water. I think it's just as good because the plates they just had a little bit of food on them, and
if you clean them off quickly, then they doesn't dry on.
Yeah.
Because if you're low on gas, you don't want to have to drive off wherever you're pitched up to get some gas.
Yeah.
You try and make it last as long as possible.
If we've run out of gas and we've run out of water, that's where Pippin comes in, because she'll lick the plates clean like that, and then they just go straight back in the cupboard. Perfect solution, really. That was also not true. Just in case anybody thinks that we're so gross, just to let the dog lick the plate clean. Here she is. Oh, you're coming up. Come on. Oh. We've been out on a massively long walk today.
Yeah, we have.
And oh well.
It was so lovely round Weymouth, wasn't it? All along the harbour and
on
the boats.
The Fitbit, almost 15,000 steps.
Yeah.
So you can, that'll give you a good idea.
But it was so nice, Weymouth.
But little Pipsqueak had to be carried a lot of the way.
Yeah, she did. Yes.
So she had to be carried so much. My arms were aching. She's only 5 kilos.
And I
but
tried.
My arms were aching.
Didn't I? I carried her a bit, but my back is so bad. It's just I don't know what's the matter, but I can hardly bend down.
But then,
and I'm in agony. So you had to do most of the carrying, didn't you?
But then I had a rucksack with me, so eventually, because I really didn't want to carry her.
No.
Because my arm's aching.
Yeah.
We put her in the rucksack.
Yeah.
With her head poking out.
And she didn't mind, did she?
She wasn't. It was on my back, so she wasn't good facing backwards. So I turned it around and put it on my front, and faced her forward as well. But she faced sideways. Yeah. So, she made herself comfortable, pretty much like that.
We knew she was so tired because we were coming back through the Loddon Country Park, and it was in the shade.
She couldn't hardly walk.
She could hardly walk.
Her feet were almost,
I know.
You could tell her little legs were hard to lift up. You know how you get when you've been walking forever and you just can't lift your foot. She was like that. It was a very long walk, and she did really well.
She did, because we took her on the beach, the sandy beach by the pavilion where dogs can go, the other end of Weymouth, and she had a bit of a game there. So she enjoyed it, but
back onto the things that you sort of take for granted. You know, I can't. Having said that, what else do you take for granted?
Do you know, I've forgotten. We've gone off subject about the lovely
we're
Tame
rambling
Weymouth.
a bit.
We are rambling a bit.
But
we said about the post and the hot water.
The post, the constant hot water. I mean,
I think
having plenty of water in a, you know, in England, we've never been short of water. Well, occasionally when we've had a bit of drought going on, and they've said, "Oh, you can't use a hose pipe, but you can fill up 300 watering cans and water your garden with that." You know, I think once in my lifetime, we've had to go to a standpipe, maybe. I don't think I ever have.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, you know, those sort of things, and having things on tap, like the gas, it's piped to your house. This isn't. You know, it's 2 bottles of gas that you have to go and get, and that sort of stuff. So you do take a lot for granted when you live in a house, and you don't really think about how you're going to manage. Like, you know, we speak to a lot of people, and the biggest question we get asked is, well, how do you manage for water? And of course, you know, without water, you're not going to live that long.
No.
You know, if you just can't get water, effectively your body gives up after a little while. I think you can go without water for 3 days without being really, really thirsty, but or causing damage. But without water, you know, it's really hard to live. And although we're surrounded by the sea and water, in a motorhome, you always think, well, you know, if we run out, where do we go and fill up? Now, as a backstop, we could always go to one of the big club sites, check in for a night and fill up. And I think some of them are now sort of charging for a service stop, like £7.50 or £8, which seems a bit extortionate, but that's what they're like.
It is, yeah.
But other things, other places like petrol stations, like service stations, I've heard tell that Shell service stations will allow you to fill up with water, or at least get some. Yeah, we've got a sort of 10-litre water carrier, so we could at least get some water to drink from most places. Cemeteries, apparently, you can go into a cemetery, although I'm not sure how you drive 3 metre wide, 9 metre long, 3 metre high van into a cemetery without,
You just have
but
to
apparently
take
there's a tap in
Yeah.
cemetery. In every cemetery there's a tap.
and churchyards.
Yeah, cemetery, churchyard, yeah. But I think you'd have to, if you were desperate, you'd have to go in with a couple of water containers and fill those up and bring them back, rather than drive the van in and hook a hose up. I think that might be a bit conspicuous. Harbours. If you drive into a harbour, not literally into the sea, but if you drive to a harbour and speak to the harbour master, they'll allow you to fill up with water. Because that boats are just the same; they have to fill up with water as well, don't they?
Yep. Yeah.
So that's about it, really. I mean, that's all I can think of. If you can think about what it is that you take for granted, and what the sort of things that you'd miss if you were living full time in a motorhome or caravan, put them in the comments below.
Oh, and I just quickly want to say that there's a couple that watch this video. They've come to the where we are at the moment, but they're in an auto sleeper, and they couldn't stay here because they're not auto trail, and they came today and they spoke to someone, but they didn't know where we were on site, so we haven't met them yet. But come and see if you want to, come back please and speak to the rally stewards. They're the yellow stickers on their van, and they know where we are, because there's quite a lot of vans here today, because we're so sad we've missed you twice.
So
and we don't even know your names.
If you,
we're so pleased.
If you own an auto sleeper,
yeah,
and you've been coming to Weymouth Rugby Club,
yeah,
in order to come and see us,
yes,
and you've been sent away with a flea in your ear,
I'm so sorry.
Try again.
Yeah, try again, please.
And speak to the rally stewards.
Yeah.
They will know where we are.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they'll be happy. Well, we'll tell them if somebody comes.
Yeah.
Just point them in our direction. But if
I'm
that's
so
you,
sorry, but thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming. Yeah.
Sorry you've had a wasted couple of journeys, but you know, if you're around, try again.
Yeah, try again. We've got
happy to sit and have a cup of tea and a chin wag with you.
Cup of tea, cup of coffee, or even a cold beer. We'd be very pleased to see you. We really would.
So there we are. That's it for the day. We're absolutely exhausted
we are,
today.
Yeah, in agony. My back's so bad. I think yours isn't much better. We feel a couple of wrecks today. So we're going to go to bed soon. And Pippin's exhausted. Look at this little girl here. She's exhausted. Yeah. So we've had a lovely day, though. If you've never been to Weymouth, go. We could live here, couldn't we? Another one of our favourite places.
We rather like Taunton, Wareham, and
Wareham. Yeah. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the video and share it. And if you've got any questions or any comments, leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. So say goodbye, Steve.
Goodbye, Steve. Say goodbye, Wen.
Goodbye, Wen.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. And goodbye from a sleepy Pips. Take care.